Why is Jason Garrett? Why would you keep Jason Garrett? If you remove Jason Garrett from the Cowboys equation, would it negatively impact the Cowboys? Would having no coach be basically the same as having Jason Garrett? I want to ask that question because I have not heard anyone, literally zero people, zero Cowboys fans, talk about Jason Garrett being the head coach of the Cowboys beyond this coming season. So the question then is, if nobody wants him or expects him to be the coach after this season, why is he the coach this season? I don't know what his purpose is, and we need to get to the bottom of why Jason Garrett is still the head coach of the Cowboys before I feel like we can answer other questions like, are they Super Bowl contenders? Could they be Super Bowl contenders? What's preventing them from winning a Super Bowl? Why are we wasting people's time? Because I feel like the biggest tractor that everyone has for this team is coaching related, and now that they've kind of made their call on what changes they're going to make coaching wise, it's basically limited everybody else from doing anything about it or complaining about the coaches. Well, they fired Scott Linehan, so that's good enough to appease the mob for at least another offseason. And the reason I bring this up is because we have this understanding that in the traditional sense, the hierarchy goes owner, GM, head coach, coordinators, players. And that's not necessarily the way that the NFL today is structured. LeBron James has changed the conversation for everybody. So now Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell feel a lot like, hey man, Mike Tomlin's not my boss. He might be your boss, but he's not my boss. I'm my boss. Or the owner is my boss. I'm going to listen to the owner. My conversations are going to be with the owner. He's just there to organize this whole thing. You have to start to acknowledge the authority and the power of the players. And if you guys believe in Dak Prescott that much, then you would say, okay, well, just remove Jason Garrett from the equation entirely. Does that make the Cowboys better or worse? And to me, I think the answer to that is neither. I don't think the Cowboys would be any better if they got rid of Jason Garrett, and I don't think they would be any worse if they got rid of Jason Garrett and just had no head coach for a season. If they had zero head coach this coming season, I still think they'd be a pretty good football team. And if I can think about that and reasonably say, all right, well, if you just give all the coordinator responsibilities, those all stay the same. Defensive coordinator coaches the defense, the offensive coordinator's in charge of the offense, and it's basically up to the players to go out there and execute. I don't think you need Jason Garrett to make that team better. You don't really need Jason Garrett. And if I can come to that conclusion, I think a lot of other people can come to that conclusion as well. And if that's the way that most fans are viewing Jason Garrett, as kind of like this powerless, not helpful, like he doesn't improve the Cowboys. And when I say, why is Jason Garrett important? I'm asking that question rhetorically, but I do want some answers. What does Jason Garrett do that makes the Cowboys better? I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question. And that's a problem.